and welcome to the evening edition of the Kevin Allen Show, otherwise known as the Kevin Allen. Kevin Allen, the famed uh, disc jockey, wannabe, never achieved anything great in this field until today. I get to say that I've interviewed one of the greatest minds in the scientific history of the internet, Flat Earth Dave. Welcome to the Kevin Allen Show, brother. This is an honor, man. Thank you.
Well, that is a surprising intro. In your
You didn't like it? You didn't
in
like
your
it?
reservation, you wrote that you think the Earth is a spinning ball. Am I correct in that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100. Listen, I think I'm dizzy by the ball that's rolling right now. So yes,
Might
I think
be.
the ball is it's a rolling ball, Flat Earth.
Okay. Let me ask you a
So,
quick question, and we'll come back to it. Do you think that that you could be brainwashed? Just asking. Like, do you think that
yeah,
you could be
yeah.
brainwashed?
Yes, yes.
No, I'm surprised that everybody says yes to that. I expect people to say no.
We've just seen it over the last 2 years of COVID. The entire world was
Well,
brainwashed. I mean, it's
Well, I
it's not
don't
a,
think
not a
you were
rocket science.
brainwashed by it. You weren't brainwashed by it,
Oh,
right?
I saw it through a different lens. Correct. Yes,
All right.
yes, yes. But it's
Okay.
interesting, Flat Earth Dave. I will say to you, I know this conversation is going to be a lot. I want to listen and really learn. And honestly, you're an amazingly energetic guy that I'm just appreciative to have you on. So thank you. I really mean it. Um, when you start to talk about these topics, and I've watched a lot of your stuff to kind of get ready to interview with you today, and a lot of the times you really bring there's a lot of thought behind everything you provide, and it's really not what you see up front. How do you get so deeply scientific in your approach towards your thing?
Well, that's an interesting thing you say. There's a lot of thought behind what I do. Yeah, there is a lot of thought and logic compared to the globe. People that believe in the globe have no thought about it. They never thought about it, and no logic. I mean, the globe model requires that you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. So when you're watching the sunset, you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. That's completely retarded, right? You're orbiting the sun at 66,000 miles an hour, and you're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, speeding up and slowing down in curved orbits, spiraling, corkscrewing through an impossible space vacuum. And none of these motions is ever noticed, measured. None of the movement is measured. None of the curvature is measured. And every time they try to, they actually prove the opposite. So when somebody says, I believe we live on a globe, it's because they're brainwashed, because they don't have any proof, but they still believe it. And why do they believe it? Because somebody told them.
Why? Let me start with this. Why is this a passion of yours to share your belief in this topic or many of the other topics that you feel passionate about? Why are you passionate about doing what you do?
I want a better future for my kids, for myself, and for everybody. I don't want to live under tyranny. And the reason they get away with all the nonsense that probably got you banned on YouTube for life is because people are spinning out of control, lost in space, and they don't know who they are. They don't know what their power is. They don't know where their true power is. People don't know their position in this world. They think they're on a random speck, flying through an infinite universe,
Yep.
and that's how they get away with all the nonsense.
So flat Earth, and how would you like me to? Is it Flat Earth Dave all the time? Do we have a
No,
comfort zone,
you can go to Sir Dave,
Sir Dave? Sir Dave.
or just Dave.
I gotta give I'll do one of these, Sir Dave. Yes, if
Oh my God, the friggin' trolls are going to run with that. They already think I'm a Freemason, knighted, whatever, Jesuit.
Do you like the reaction from the trolls? Do you enjoy that part of what you do, Flat Earth Dave?
It doesn't bother me. The trolls actually bring more attention to me. Some of my best videos on my DITRH channel are inspired by the trolls. Trolls say the dumbest things, and then I'll make a video on it that really helps wake up many other people. So when excuse me, when you're on the side of truth, which I know that I am, it's an easy ride. When you have to make up crap, it's unbelievable. If you go to my channel, DITRH, all my videos are under 5 minutes, or most of them are. There's one called.
Why are you so confident in what you do? I mean, seriously,
because I've researched this more than anything else I've done in my entire life. Everything, all of my schooling, everything. I have researched this more, and I went in not trying to prove the Earth is flat. I went in to prove it's stupid. I went in to prove the globe and how dumb flat Earth is, and that's when you start to see. I mean, look, this is your system that you believe in. What evidence do you have that this is real?
Well, I had books when I was growing up, Flat Earth Dave, and they told me that.
Right. So think about this. They keep the schools underfunded. Then the bankers, the Rockefellers, come in and they write these textbooks and they sell them to the schools at a quarter or a tenth of the cost to make them. So if it costs $100 to make a book, just for a number, they sell it to the school for $10. That eliminates all competition. That eliminates the schools getting other textbooks with real information in them. Then they own all, they're in charge of all the governments, all the school boards and everything, and they dictate the curriculum. They brainwash kids before they can talk. Disney, Sesame Street, astronauts are on there. Everything is NASA and space. Every kid wants to be an astronaut. It's all false. It's all to make you believe you live on a ball, to make you feel insignificant and powerless. Because if everybody knew what many, many, many flat earthers now know, they would unplug from the heliocentric matrix, which is the prison for your mind. And once you're unplugged from that, you stop feeding the system.
Flat Earth Dave, I just want to ask a question.
Just go with Dave.
Okay, Dave. Thank you. Dave, thank you very much. You got a great voice, by the way. Great radio voice. I like it. I think you did you sing in a band at all? Did you ever sing in a band?
Are you kidding me? I absolutely hate my voice. I hate being on microphone, but that's what I do for, it's God's funny way. The universe is very humorous. So here I am on camera talking to people out of my comfort zone. But I have a really expensive mic to take this nasally Jewish New York accent and make it sound good.
I didn't sense any Jew from you, if that matters. I didn't sense the Jew.
The microphone. The microphone. It was worth it then.
You got a mic. You got a microphone, folks. You can buy directly from Flat Earth Dave's site, and you can wash the Jew out of you if you want to go live.
I don't. I'm just kind of kidding.
We don't advocate for washing Jews, by the way. Flat Earth Dave, dude. Here's the question. Listen. Right now when you're talking, there's people out there. You get this every time you get onto one of these shows, and it's not your release. This is coming from the folks that are going to ask questions. There's people right now that are thinking, this guy's off his fucking rocker. He doesn't make sense because we do look up in the sky and we see a moon and it's a circle, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So we're going to go right to the moon question, but before that, I have for people that think that I'm crazy, I have a gift for you. 3 Bitcoins for anybody that can take my app challenge or my crash course challenge and supply me 1 globe proof. You win 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. It's that simple, right? It's that simple.
Marketing. I love your marketing. Marketing is great.
by the way, the crash course is free, absolutely free. It's on my website, flatearthdave.com, or you get the app. Right, and the app makes researching this subject a lot easier.
Man, you are a beast, Flat Earth Dave. You're a beast at the promoting, man. I love it. PT Barnum has nothing on. Listen, PT Barnum has nothing on you, bro. You are freaking gold.
All right, so now back to the moon. You have lights in the ceiling in your room right there.
Yeah.
All right, so do me a favor. Look at those lights and describe them. Are they circular? Are they round? What are they?
They look round, circular.
They're circular. Okay. Would you describe them as flat or are they globular?
Well, I'm looking at it from a flat version and kind of a flat version, but flat.
Okay. Well, my point is, of course, you have flat lights. My point is, looking at the lights in your ceiling are no way to measure and describe the shape of your floor. Your floor is flat. The lights are not like the floor. The balls on a pool table don't mean that the pool table is spherical. So when you say that the moon is spherical, well, it kind of looks spherical. Here's 4 moons. Is that one a sphere? Well, it's half a sphere. How about this one? Before I grab it, is that one a sphere? Yes. Come on.
Yeah. No.
Sure? You're right. It's flat. How about this one? Is this one a sphere?
I'm going to say no again on this one.
Yeah, but you don't know. It's a cup, right? So my point is, if you can't touch it, if you can't see it, then you can't measure it. If you don't know the distance, then you
Yeah, but
don't
how can
know.
we look into the sky, Dave? Right? I look in the sky. I see a circle.
Yeah,
Well, and wherever we are in the world, our world, right?
I think
We're
the
going to
moon
see a
is a
circle.
sphere. I think the moon is a sphere. Well, so I think the moon is a. You know what? I'm not. You know what? I'm going to back out of that. It looks like a sphere, but excuse me. If you look at the moon, when on a full moon night, it's bright, right? It's bright like this. It casts a shadow on the ground. You can read a book by it in the middle of nowhere. Okay.
Right.
Well, how is a dusty, dirty ball casting a light that distance? Now, if you actually do the science, flat earthers like science. There's a thing called the inverse square law of light. Let me explain what that is. It's really simple. As light travels away from its source, it gets dimmer and dimmer exponentially. Every time you double the distance to a light, it's a quarter of the brightness. A simple experiment you can do is get like a little LED light and drop it into the center of a small box, a couple inches, and then get a light meter and measure the light bouncing off the side of that box, the inside of the wall, and then put it in a box that's a foot wide, then put it in a box that's 5 feet wide, then do it in a dark room where the whole room is dark, and then measure the wall, and you'll see that light just gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. For us to see the moon at this brightness, at 100 miles away from the moon where the astronauts took that famous photo, the moon would have to be over 60 times brighter than we see the sun from Earth for the light to get to us and be that bright. The science doesn't work. And then here's NASA. I don't know what you think about NASA, but NASA took this picture. How come the moon isn't lit up? There should be a full moon. The sun is behind the camera. There's a full Earth. Well, where's the light on the moon? This is CGI nonsense. This is garbage for
You're
your
saying
brain.
all the technology that we're seeing is being produced by humans to fool us about actually what's out there.
What technology?
Well, you're saying this CGI, you were just referring to what you're looking at, is nonsense. You just used the word nonsense.
Absolutely. So do you believe in space flight? Do you believe that people go into space, that Elon Musk is sending people into space? You can say yes. Most people do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. So I'm gonna show you a rocket, and you tell me what you think. Okay. So this is Elon's rocket that he is going to send to Mars. He's doing a test flight. So this thing's sitting here on this crappy little launch pad, and it weighs tons. It weighs, I don't know, 40 tons, right? And this little flame is pushing this thing up, okay? Now look at the angle. You got a ground camera, you got a side angle, now you got the far camera. Now let's go close camera. Now it can't be that high because look at the angle. We're kind of underneath it. Like, all right, now here's a view from the top, and then here it is, side angle. Can't be that high again. And now here it is from the camera. This is real time, not unedited from Elon. Now look, the engines are turning off. It's about 20,000 pounds or more, free falling. Now use your brain. Look at the smoke that's coming off of this, or the steam, or whatever that is. Look at it. It's barely moving. Is this free falling? No. Okay, free falling, we're going so fast, right? And then now all of a sudden, onboard shot, it's in space. Now look at this thing. This is free falling. We're going to get one more onboard shot, and then something amazing is going to happen. Look how high it is, right? Now the next shot, the engines are going to turn on, 3 engines. The cameraman's going to edit and jump right underneath it, and then 2 of the 3 engines are going to burn out. Somehow it turns upright. Cameraman's underneath it. Watch, 2 of the 3 engines are going to burn out. Ready? 1, 2. And this little off-center, little flame is going to land this multi-ton vehicle, CGI smoke, and it lands upright. Now, if anyone believes that's real, truth may not be for you. Go away and just believe everything. But the fact that I just proved that Elon Musk faked a rocket launch, you can unwind it too. We never went to the moon. Space is fake and the Earth is flat if you want. But there's tons more evidence, not just that one.
How do you know that you proved it to people that might not agree with you? And then the question is, I'm not offering an opinion right here. I'm taking in what you're saying. This is the first time I've looked at it from this perspective.
Yep.
But how would you then say to someone, you're like, it's definitely this? What if they say to you, well, I watched this event take place. I watched it land this way.
Yeah.
We watched it and took place, and we didn't.
I got it. But so you have to say, where's your video? Because don't tell me you went there and forgot to film it. Nobody was there, okay? Because they have launches, where people are 10, 15 miles away from the space shuttle launch. You weren't any closer than like 10 or 11 miles, closest. And you're seeing something launch up because when the space shuttle launches, it leaves a big smoke trail. And that's because it's actually launching something. No people are ever on it. It's more, it's a balloon.
Are you saying no one's ever flown on the space shuttles?
No one's ever flown on the space shuttle.
So you're saying the passing of those?
I mean, these guys here that we found, 6 of the 7 of them have identical twins that all work for universities that have the same name, same birth date. They look and sound the same. Judith Resnick over here, we have a video of her making a speech as a Yale professor, law professor, and as an astronaut, and they have the same gestures, same dimples, same teeth, same hand motion, same hair, and same voice. I think it's just a coincidence. And then here's the other thing. Twins have a closer bond than most brothers and sisters do. You could probably agree with that, or at least as strong. And none of them showed up at their siblings' funerals. Not one of the twins, identical twins, showed up or spoke at any of their funerals after that event.
So let me just so we understand, Dave, you're saying that these astronauts had died in this incident, had twins.
Yep.
And the twins now are living lives mimicking or exactly identically looking like matured to this point where they would be if they were alive. Are you saying those people never passed away in a crash?
Correct.
This is a pretty big one, right? Let's stop, right? Let's just stop and say, what's the reaction you get from people when you say that? Like, in other words, is it sometimes a little angry because people can feel like maybe that's a little out of line?
Absolutely, because they're emotionally reacting to an emotional incident. With all of the nonsense going on in the world, they use death and children and all sorts of stuff to get your emotional brain working and hide your, that once your emotional brain kicks in, your logical brain shuts off. Okay, never go to sleep angry, never say anything until you get out of that angry mode.
But what's a logical brain? What's that mean when you say logical?
A logical brain is somebody that looks at logic, like, okay, what are the odds that none of the siblings show up or speak at the funerals? Well, that's 0. Okay. And what are the odds that 6 of them are twins? Well, maybe NASA likes getting twins, to be astronauts, but how come they never mentioned that they had twin brothers or sisters?
Do you know this is fact? Because if it's not fact, wouldn't that be wrong to be spreading these kind of things? So how do you base your factual findings on this?
Yeah, I have a playlist on my YouTube channel, DITRH, called Challenger Astronauts, and watch the interviews, watch the research, and then judge yourself. Don't believe anything I'm saying, right? Think about this. You know this plane, the SR-71, the spy plane?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just getting we're getting a lot of comments in the feed here. Yes.
No problem.
Okay. I think I've seen it. I mean, I'm not up on this stuff.
Okay, the SR-71 is our fastest plane. It's like razor thin, and it goes Mach 3.2, I think.
Is it real, Dave?
Yeah, I've seen it. Okay, and it doesn't have any paint on it because the paint would burn off. The outside, they say, gets up to like 500 degrees, and just research the SR-71. Talk to the pilots. It's amazing. This thing can't go any faster because it starts to rip apart. But this hunk of junk, non-aerodynamic, not even as aerodynamic as a jumbo jet, can go Mach 25. That makes no sense. It's impossible.
So are you saying to me that this older apparatus here was a smoke and mirrors kind of system with NASA, and that apparatus never went in the air with any humans, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That sounds a little. Listen, as a kid, Dave, I want to say this. I had the shuttle. Don't ruin. You're stealing my childhood now from me. I had the little thing that popped open. I put the astronauts in it, and I played with it. Now you're telling me I'm wrong and I'm a lie. It's been a lie. It's all a lie. It's a lie, Dave.
Unfortunately, it is, man.
I don't know, man. I'm not with you just yet. I like you.
No,
but I'm
I got
not on
you.
your side yet.
I'm taking away your ball. I'm taking away space. But guess what? If you like Star Wars and Star Trek, I'm making it real because space is scientifically impossible. We'll get into that, right? And flat Earth is scientifically possible, and it's all here. You want disclosure? You want alien disclosure? It's here on flat Earth. It's
wait. Listen, how long do I have with you?
we got a solid hour, but we go a little long if we're having a good time. But depends on
I mean,
how
I'm
triggered.
liking what
Depends
we're
on how
doing right
triggered you
now.
get.
It's I think it's good back and forth, and I think the interesting part is this is really my first true. I've seen you, I know you are. I've seen you trending and all that stuff, but I've never had a chance to really look and talk to you. And I think the interesting part about Dave is I'm having a hard time believing you, but I want to believe you. You're a
Don't
likable guy.
believe
So
me. Don't
I yeah,
believe
but
me.
I know, but
Don't.
just listen. I understand what you're saying. But you understand
Yeah.
you're persuading in the approach that you give. But let me ask you something. What did you do before this? What did you? Because you know what? Are you a charlatan? Are you some kind of like? Did you sell oils, snake oils? How did you? And this is sarcastic for purpose. I think you're an educated guy in some form. Tell us about you, Dave.
I went to I went to college. I left college, joined corporate America, got into the solar power business. I started my own solar power development company, hugely successful, and I walked away from it all to spread this most important message because the world is going to shit. And if people don't get their heads out of their asses and out of space and don't realize where they are and the power that we have, we're going into some real dark ages, unlike the fake dark ages that they're lying to us about.
So you're a corporate America kind of worker. Went through that system.
Well, I
You went,
went, I left, and I became an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur.
and so do you have other businesses or things that you run at this point other than what we're talking about here today?
No, this is it. I dropped everything for this because this is the most important message, and it's all consuming. I never worked harder in my life.
Is there
Um,
family involved, Dave? Is there a family in Flat Earth Dave's life?
no, I mean I have family. Absolutely, I have a girlfriend. I'm essentially married. We've been together 15 years. We have kids,
Okay.
and life is good.
Is it a family? In other words, does the family embrace your beliefs and support you in this thing?
Um, yeah, my wife Paige, she's totally on board. She gets it. She sees the world for what it is, and we investigate and look at the lies in this world, and we kind of laugh at them and are doing our thing. We don't buy into the heliocentric nonsense that they push at us, and life is great. We have tons of friends, and our kids kind of just do their own thing. They don't, they're older. Our kids are in their late 20s and 30s.
Interesting stuff. So hey, let's get into some questions. Thank you, David. You're I'm comfortable with you. I like you. I can tell right out of the box. You're the kind of guy I can sit at a bar, have a whiskey shot with next to, and I guarantee
Tequila,
you got some good jokes in your pocket too. One of
tequila.
the questions here is explain tectonic. I'm sorry, just flip the
Tectonic
frick.
plates. They want to
Yeah.
they want to
So
explain tectonic plates. So the story in the heliocentric system is the land was Pangea, and then it slowly got pushed apart. At the speed that they're saying it's going, the Great Pyramids would have moved over a mile already. And if that was true, the shaft that you look through wouldn't line up with Polaris anymore, but it still does. Okay, the Georgia Guidestones were up for over 40 years. That hole in the center lined up with Polaris. That's impossible in a heliocentric spinning insane matrix. Before we leave the space shuttle, just for a second, let me ask you a
yeah.
question. Watch this. This is the external tank that they've discharged, and it's going to fall back to Earth and burn up. That's the story. Does this look
Sure.
like 20,000 pounds of steel falling, or does this look like a Macy's Parade balloon?
I mean,
Now watch.
I'm gonna
Wait,
say
hold
I'm
on,
gonna
hold
say
on. Wait. Watch right here. A handkerchief's going to blow by. There it goes. Did you see it? I'll bring it back again. Watch. This will kind of give you an idea if this is falling. Ready? Here it comes in 2 or 3 seconds. Right here. Move my hand. And there it goes. So is this floating? Well, this is obviously not 20,000 pounds falling. Here's the other problem with this. The space shuttle is going into space at over 17,000 miles per hour up. It dropped this thing, which is falling back to Earth. The guys in the space shuttle that are on their way up are filming this falling to Earth. What kind of camera zooming? What the hell do they have that's doing this? Okay, I have a video on my channel. On
it kind of looks like a big cigar, Dave. It looks like a big
does.
cigar floating.
I think it's more of a balloon, but there's something that happens. You can't. I don't know if you can see it in this video. There's for lack of a better word, a cloaked or camouflaged aircraft that is coming to recover this thing, and we show it. We crank up the contrast, and you can see it. Okay, some weird crap, but on my app under the rockets are balloons videos. Watch those. But listen, you shouldn't watch them because your entire childhood will disappear.
Dave, and then I have to cry. I cry myself to sleep. Do you offer to those that maybe go through the process of accepting you? Do you call at night and comfort us in our nights of worry about the world being flat?
Well, here's the thing. Once you understand and get over the ego and being so upset that you were fooled your whole life, then you realize, wow, this place is way better than they told us it was. And I have way more power. And there's so many things that I can do that I didn't think I could do.
I
And
love
there's
how you go
nothing to
right
be
at the machismo. You go right into the ego. You cut deep right in that one.
There's
I like
nothing to be afraid of. You know, it's so easy to fool people. I mean, you know, people say, what about the International Space Station? Okay.
Yeah.
So here we have the International Space Station. Why is there no land down here?
Yeah.
Why is there no land?
Well, I believe that's Earth. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, this is from the International Space Station, isn't it? You can kindly
So why
see.
would we have land other than we can see it, but it's not pixelated enough. I mean, I can't
That's
see
actually filmed from our front yard, and it was just turned upside down with a solar panel. So
turn it back to the other area.
I'm just showing you how easy it is to fool people. Globers argued, well, they're over the Indian Ocean. You know, of course you're not going to see it. But then when we show you that actually this was filmed in a front yard and we just turned it upside down and put a solar panel in the picture.
No doubt. I get what you're saying.
All I'm showing is there's deception out there. You catch them lying once on the International Space Station, then you catch them, then that's it. The entire thing unwinds.
So you don't think any of it, when it comes to anything that we've been told, taught, and have physically actually visually experienced, because we've seen these things in our lifetime, is real? You don't think it's real? You don't think it's real?
What did you say?
I saw what you're seeing right now. I see what you got up here. I mean, I saw this. I'm sure that we can get movie clips, though.
So look at this door. Look at this door. Does that look like an airproof hatch?
It looks like a very flimsy
piece
door.
Of canvas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is that? Can you explain that? Right.
Well, it looks like a hatch above it, though, Dave. There's a hatch above it.
There's no hatch above it. Okay.
There's a solid piece above that, right?
No. There's no door there. Right.
If you go back a little bit.
You know what? That's all the clip footage there is on this. Let me show you a couple things. Watch this guy. He's on the space station.
I just had a great comment on that.
All right, I'll go back. You got it.
That's what it's supposed to be about, brother. I want to be on your team, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I like to keep it moving, though. I go too fast. Slow me down.
All right. Well, I'm saying to you right now, I saw atop of that, it looked like a more solid cylinder, not the flimsiness. Almost like there was a break in the camera that changed from that to what piece got dropped down.
Where's the door that they close, and how do they close it?
I understand. I'm seeing what you're seeing. I'm not arguing. Yeah. I'm saying, but I saw a heavier. That looks heavier to me than the actual thing he pulls down. It's sturdy. You see how it is when he's grabbing it? Almost like he slid it off of something.
All right, I have no real comment on that. Let's go through a couple others.
It's just a thought. I'm Dave. I just
I get it.
I have an idea. I mean, and listen, I'm sorry to have a thought out there in the world, Dave.
I'll allow it.
Go ahead, man. I'm listening.
All right. So here's Don Pettit bragging how he found a piece of plastic, taped its closed, and was able to put coffee in it. That way he could drink his coffee because he's tired of drinking from a bag, but he can drink from this cup. And because of the surface tension, but something happened. Look, the coffee became separated from the cup because it's all CGI. It came separated from the cup. You see that? Look.
Yeah.
It became separated. So that's showing you that they're using deception, all right? Here's another one. This is what's his face that loves singing, and so this guy is in another room. They're both in front of a green screen, and the guy that's holding the mic misplaces where Hatfield, whatever his name is, and he sticks the mic inside his neck. Look at the mic; it's inside his neck. It's in his neck. Okay. And the only argument you can get from the globe side is, cosmic rays. Okay? It's in his neck. Here's another one. Watch this guy's head. It's transparent. Look, it's transparent. He's being faded in. This is all done with computer graphics. And they use green screens, and sometimes we can see the green screens. Watch inside this guy's arm here, right? Forget the glitching over here. That could happen, right? But when he moves his arm, he reveals the green screen. There it is. Boom. Green screen. Right there.
But Dave, let me ask something, Dave, please, if I can.
Okay.
Isn't it fair to say that you could have doctored these items after
Sure.
they were out?
Very fair. So you've got to go to NASA's website and find this stuff, right? Lots of the videos have links to that, but we catch this stuff live, okay? We catch NASA with holographic projectors on their lawns. Why do they have holographic projectors? Okay, what are they doing, right? And in reality, this is what's going on. This is a ball filled with helium. It's kind of neutrally buoyant. But right here, is there anything there? Oh, look, now there's a stuffed animal. They beamed it in. They literally Star Trek beamed it in. And then she starts manipulating it. This is called augmented reality. And she's manipulating stuff in real time. And this is to get the kids, right? And it's to brainwash the kids that space is real.
But this is a creation that has been used in the educate. You're saying like sort of that education, sort of mind creation. But you're also saying that your same thing you actually used, Dave. Isn't it fair to say that someone could accuse anybody on the flat Earth side
of doing
doctoring things? Yeah,
right. You can do that all. That's your best excuse. That's a lazy man's excuse. Go watch the real footage.
Good response. Knuckle it up. I love it. Give it knuckles on that one. I love your response, bro.
They still have that video on their website. Okay, and I have the full video if you want to see that. Right, and all the stuff. Now these guys at the end of their ridiculous conference, everything that was floating, including them, glitched out, and then they cut away to mission control. Oops, they glitched out, and the things in the foreground that were floating glitched out because they're on another layer. Something happened. Now, are they doing this stuff on purpose just to let us know? Maybe, or are they just that bad? I kind of go with the second one, but I could switch back.
I love this, man. Man, where you been my whole life? I've been waiting for this kind of conversation for a long time.
Dude, this is crazy. Chris Hadfield again doing an experiment where he ringed out water. He's doing this on a zero-G plane. There's edit after edit after edit. On my channel, DITRH, I have a new video on him showing what's going on there. Watch that. My videos are short, right? This is a zero-G plane, and this is an astronaut. It's the same thing, okay? But they don't do it always. They're not. Sometimes they're hanging from wires in front of green screens. Sometimes they're on a zero-G plane. Sometimes they're just standing there, like on the Chinese space station, right? The Chinese space station is insane, right? Again, our space station, amazing technological wonder. There's not a single photo or video of it being built. I think it would be the most videoed construction project in history. Mission Control would want to see what's going on. Zero footage. China.
Nothing from space. Nothing ever got documented.
Nothing.
Space.
They just have an animation of it being built. Just literally a cartoon animation. That's all they have. And then China all of a sudden has a space station. And there's no photos of it being built. It's just up there. And these guys, look at these guys. They're standing there.
What is sinister about what you're these? And I know what it is, and I'm not at all trying to be argumentative. But what is the sinister? What's going on sinister here in these claims?
So they're doing it to make the world believe that they live on a ball. Why the lie? Why would they lie?
Who's they though, Dave? Who's they?
They are the highest people in the governments that we see, but there's a they above them. Those are the people that live beyond our means, beyond the shoreline of Antarctica, beyond, I'm not sure where they live. They could live among us, but we don't know who they are. The real leaders of this world could be extraterrestrial. Wait a minute. Are they aliens from outer space? No, I said extraterrestrial, from the extra land. Let's get into that. All right. But first, they're doing this experiment. Right, during it, her laptop computer fell shut. That's weird. But right here on the table is a glass of water. There's a glass of water right here.
Yep.
Okay? A glass of water on the space station. Take your time.
I see it. I see it.
Take your time. Let it soak in. And then they showed us some live footage. Look at the Earth. It's kind of looking flat. Wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe it's a pear. Maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson was right. It's a pear. Okay? But if you wait, as time goes on, it morphs all the way into, now it's a ball. Now it's a spinning ball. Look how fast it's spinning. Right. This is ridiculous. This is a fisheye lens. Okay? You must have some questions from chat.
Yeah, they're popping up here, man. I'm telling you right now that like a lot of great questions. Let's see. Let's see if we can get one. What about the live feed delay being delayed because of being transmitted? I think that's, I don't know. Is there anything with the live feed now? Let's lizards. They
Wait, hold
lizard
on.
people.
Let me
Lizard
answer that.
people.
Let me answer that. I don't know anything about lizard people. The delay. So the International Space Station has a 24/7 feed, except when it goes on the dark side of the Earth. What? We can't make phone calls on the dark side of Earth. I can call someone in China. Okay, thousands and thousands of miles away. The International Space Station is only 250 miles away. Okay, all right. Why does the camera keep going out? Why do they fake stuff? Why are they hanging from wires? Okay, we've caught them hanging from wires. We've caught them getting tangled in their wires. Okay. And once you see that, you have to let it go. You have to say, okay, I've been lied to. NASA's lying. NASA's full of shit. If you look at the physics of a rocket, that doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work. And when you watch a NASA rocket go off, it edits 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before it even clears the control tower. Okay, before it even clears the control tower. That is insane. But if you watch, you ever hear the Go Fast rocket? Amateurs launched this in Arizona. Uninterrupted feed looking down. It's spinning really fast. And an uninterrupted feed looking sideways, which is not showing right here. It went up 72 miles, and all of a sudden it went kerplunk, and it hit something, and it stopped rotating instantly.
Wait,
Okay?
wait. I
Right
have to
here.
ask.
Watch. Here it is. And it goes kerplunk, and it stopped. Okay? Now, here's the interesting. You can argue all day about that. But it turned on its side. And when it turned on its side, all of a sudden, we could see the moon. Here it comes. This dot right here. Boom. That's the moon. We can zoom in on it and see the moon. Earth is looking a little flat right there. So let's go to time and date. It launched in Arizona. The moon was over Australia. If the Earth was a basketball, that rocket was a fraction of a millimeter over the top of that basketball, and the moon was below the basketball. How did they see the moon?
Well, I mean, wouldn't the open space in the atmosphere give a clear vision to where you're going?
Here's the moon.
Yeah.
Here's the Earth, and that rocket ship is right here.
Okay.
All of this is hidden. All of that is hidden.
Yeah, but Dave, it's like going a mile and a mile and a mile. You know how many thousands of miles from Earth is that right there in your
What, the moon?
Yeah, right now.
Well, we've already proven that you can't. The moon. They tell us it's 238,000 miles away. Well, we see it. We see the light equally lit from edge to edge, not like a ball lit by one source. It would have a hot spot and it would fade out. We also know that the brightness of the moon doesn't make any sense. So, what difference does it make? It doesn't matter if it's a million miles away, 238,000 miles away, or 50 miles away. You can't see it when it's under the ball, but you can see it on a flat Earth.
It's an interesting. Not there yet, Dave. I'm working my way through the flatness of this interview tonight. And flat Earth, Dave.
Any questions like season, sunsets? What do you want to hear?
Okay, let's see. Then hits. Listen, let's go right into this. There's a lot of conspiracy theory, concept. What we're talking about. How much of this ties into the political, geopolitical, economic, all those things? Are you telling me? Because let's just say that the NASA thing is, Dave, you've proved your point. What is the other sinister stuff? Because there's got to be a connection here, right? I'm assuming.
It's interesting. John Kerry on election day, when 2 elections ago, I think, went to Antarctica on election day. Very interesting. What's going on in Antarctica, right? So, for those of you that are listening that don't know how the world is possibly set up, here's how I see it, right? Space is scientifically impossible. We got a rock Earth with water on the outside, with air over that, adjacent to a vacuum. Then you have burning balls of gas that somehow decided to, gases that somehow decided to collapse upon each other and become so massive that they turned into nuclear furnaces. And they left a vacuum in between. This is scientific mumbo jumbo. This is not even scientific. This is
What do you say when scientists say you're wrong, Dave? Because I'm a scientist and you're not.
show me high pressure next to low pressure without a physical barrier in a lab or in nature, anywhere. Nobody can do it.
Use your laser, Timmy Riley said, to find out how far the moon is away. Use your
Well,
laser.
so what he's telling is the NASA that said they had a reflector on the moon and you could shoot a laser at it. And here's the story: they shoot like 900 trillion photons at it, and then one photon gets caught, ping, and the computer spits out 238,000 miles away. Okay, well, how did NASA find the distance of the moon before they went? Well, they said they shot a laser at it. They didn't even need a reflector, right? Who has access to that technology and how to hit the reflector? Only NASA. So do you think you can write a little program that goes firing laser, 900 trillion photons? Oh, we caught one. Ping, ping, ping. That's all it is. And then people just believe this nonsensical story.
But wouldn't it take a lot of cover up, Dave? I mean, think about the massive amount of ancestral cover up that you're talking about. Like, and I say ancestral because there must be all eating from the same piggy pile. And if they're all eating that way, how is this possible? Is there a subculture, as you say, that keeps these secrets?
There is an elite class of people that does keep this secret. You know, there's astronauts, pilots that all have spoken out. Many military people have spoken out. On my app, if you go to the web button and then you go scroll down to full length videos, if you click that button, up comes a playlist that Google won't show you. But the third one down is military whistleblowers. And they explain how none of their weapon systems, none of their sonar, microwave systems work on anything other than a flat, non-rotating Earth.
Did you ever work in a submarine, Dave? Did you ever?
Never been on one. Never been on one.
So there was a question about that. Actually, one of the questions that popped up in the feed about the sonar, about submarines. Are you telling me that this is all a farce as well?
No, submarines are real. Think about this. How does sonar work? It sends out a sound wave, a sonar wave. It hits something, it bounces back and gives them an image. Great. Right. Well, there's testimony from many submarine sonar operators that say they can see another submarine 100 miles away, right? So if two submarines are at the bottom of the abyssal plain, which is flat, most of the ocean bottom is flat, and they could see each other with their sonar, there would have to be more than a mile of curvature, a mountain a mile high. That sonar would have to go over the mountain, come down, hit the submarine, bounce back over the mountain, and come down, and then they see they see it. If you don't understand how that's physically impossible, then you're lying to yourself. Now, there's two options. Submarines don't exist, and neither does sonar, and it's all a made-up story, which I don't believe, or it's flat. That's it. Now, the other thing is, on the surface of the water, they have guns that artillery that can shoot, that can lock on their target, pencil thin laser over 100 miles away. There would be a hump of water again over a mile high, but there is no curvature.
Hey, Flat Earth Dave, am I going to get banned off Facebook, you think, with this?
Absolutely not. No, Flat Earth does not. They don't ban even on YouTube.
Listen, I could give a fuck. I could give a fuck less.
Yeah, no. I'm very careful what I say. Like, I won't talk about this thing.
No, dude. I know you got my back. I was joking.
I was
joking. Listen, but can I say something to you?
I'll allow it.
Or let me ask you, how old are you?
I am. I don't identify with chronological age, but I'm older than you.
I can tell you this though, you're jacked up, dude. You just did I don't know if you know, you did a bicep pose. You look like you're a healthy dude. You must do a lot of running.
I do a lot of swimming. I take a master's swim workout, which I did today, and it's killer. It just knocks me dead.
You know what? That explains a lot about the depth of your mind. People who are really long distance swimmers, you are alone by yourself in the ocean, floating in this massive space. That's a mind fuck. That's a mind fuck, man.
I kind of blow that up a little bit. I have my phone, and it streams to these wireless headphones that I have. So I do listen to a podcast or something while I'm swimming to keep me distracted. But
you're out there bobbing by yourself.
I am swimming, but I'm listening to I'm learning about stuff. I'm listening to other shows. I'm listening to my friend Owen Benjamin. I'm listening to something to help expand my mind. Listen, in school, I got all B's. I got a lot of B's. You know why? Teachers were happy and my parents didn't yell at me. That's all. I just like, you know what? I'll just get some B's. I'll just go through. It was all nonsense. Okay. But this stuff is amazing. I research this stuff all the time. I mean, if there was 48 hours in a day and I only had to sleep 4, it still wouldn't be enough time. There's so much information out there. Again, I don't know if you looked into it, but if you go in here and click the Mud Floods Tataria button, bring food and water if you do. That's a life changer there. There's so much information in this app. But again, you think I'm crazy. Check this out. This is just the flat earth. Well, some people do. These are just the flat earthers near me. Look at all these people. Every one of these dots is a flat earther. Okay? People are using this as a dating app now, right? I could send out that circle's 50 kilometers.
How many followers do you have on your app right now? Do you know?
Right now, there's 67,532 people that are in the Friend Finder. More than half of the people that have the app don't even know about the Friend Finder. Okay? So, there's, and again, it's not just the United States, it's all over the world. So, check this out. This is the UK. Look at this.
Yep.
Right? Look at America. Insane. Look at all these people. Right? Now, why is this getting so big? Because once you see the deception and once you let your ego down, let your ego die, right? Your ego's doing nothing for you. You start seeing the world for what it is. You unplug from this heliocentric matrix. You stop giving your power away. You take back your God-given power and you free yourself from slavery, right? And if everybody would do this, that's why I left my own company. If everybody would just unplug from this governmental mind control, govern the mind, control the mind, government, okay? If everybody would just unplug this and unplug from the fear, the news is fear, false evidence appearing real, okay? The news steers your mind, north, east, west, south, okay? With garbage, nuclear bombs, fake, okay? Asteroids coming in, fake, right? We're running out of water, we're running out of food.
Dave, let me ask you, what about like some natural bombings, 9/11 shootings, things like this? Let's get into it with you. Do you have an opinion on this? Does it tie together?
Yeah, that all ties together. So you're aware, let's just keep it clean because this is going to go on my YouTube channel after you're done. You're aware that the New York event isn't what they told us, right? Are you down with that, or are you still kind of believe the official conspiracy theory?
Well, I'm going to tell you that I know that there's a lot of opinions. I definitely believe the planes crashed into the buildings. I definitely believe people died. I definitely have personal friends who were there. And
yeah, me too. Me too. And I live right next to New York City. I live in the edge of Connecticut. Right.
So yeah, I mean, I'm going to say, yeah, man. I'm going to tell you yes.
So write this down. StopLookThink.com. StopLookThink.com.
Grab that, please, love.
StopLookThink.com. At the top, it says 9/11, all videos. Start watching those videos. These are the stuff that's been removed from YouTube, and then you'll know that your whole belief in airplanes is misguided. We don't. That's a longer show. It's not allowed on YouTube.
What are you saying in beliefs in airplanes? Airplanes don't fly?
No, airplanes fly, absolutely. But airplanes
so what do you mean beliefs?
Airplanes don't go through steel and concrete buildings and come out the other side unscathed. It's a long conversation. I'm not having a 9/11 conversation. My podcast, the Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, the first episode was called 9/11 is Dave's Baby. I know what I'm talking about. I've compiled all of the videos. The videos, don't believe videos. They've just done the work for you. They've put it all together. Look at it and then think about it and then verify it. Okay? 9/11, StopLookThink.com. Drop down that 9/11 video, that thing,
Gotcha.
Click all videos, and then just watch the first 2 or 3. You're finished. Your life changes.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm open. I'm not trying to press you on anything. So
no,
please,
I'm up
to
to
feel
talk
like
about
I'm
anything.
being too.
No,
I
dude.
just want you to feel comfortable. That's
You're
all.
all right. I'm super comfortable, and listen.
Are you high right now? Do you smoke marijuana in the Jewish years of your latter part of your life? Are you smoking the cabbage?
I don't identify with any religion, so get that out of your mind. I just have people say I have a nasally Jewish New York accent. Okay. I hate that. Okay.
Do you identify with the recreational marijuana movement?
I identify with it. The problem is I take one hit and I'm so high I can't function. Now, like late at night on a weekend, maybe I'll take a tiny little puff, and I stay home. I got my shoes off. I'm staying home. But I
Staying home.
will. I do like a small edible, like 3 to 5 milligrams later in the evening. But
Yeah.
I'm not a functional stoner.
Did you ever try mushrooms?
Absolutely.
You like them?
Yeah, the mushrooms are fantastic.
Well, wait. I think I hit a sweet spot with Dave right now. Let's just stay right in this mushroom cloud.
Mushrooms.
What's the advantage of mushrooms, dude?
Mushrooms spur on neurogenesis. They help your brain regrow. And I'm a big fan of microdosing mushrooms. I don't do it a lot, but a little microdose, has lifted people out of depression. It's changed the course of people's lives. It helps you see and think a little differently. A lot of people you could do that without mushrooms. You can meditate. You can do that. Everyone has their own journey. Mushrooms are natural. They don't make you feel like shit. And if you microdose just a little bit in the right situation with the right, spiritual awareness, I think they're a huge benefit to humanity.
Did that help? Did some of this in your life help your journey of opening your eyes through some of these practices?
I don't know. Like if my child, my youth drug experimentation get me here? I don't know. I wasn't a big druggie. I did a little bit of everything, and I kind of grew out of it all. I'm not a big drinker. I guess if I had to pick my favorite, medicine, drug, whatever you want to call it, I would say that the tinctures made from the cannabis plant would be right up there. There's some great stuff that just kind of relaxes you, like CBD.
Sure.
I'm all about it. And then I think that mushrooms have their place when you do them right.
I love it, man. You know what's cool? I actually did a 40-acre farm of hemp when it first got legal in Connecticut. I lived on the farm, went off the grid. Amazing experience, 40 acres, 86 employees, financial business partner. I was the operational partner. We went broke.
You're in Connecticut?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm
I'm up by Griswold, which is up by the casinos, both Foxwoods and Mohegan.
Yeah. I'm down on the other south end of Connecticut.
Oh, are you in the affluent section there, Flat Earth? Are you a money man?
I'm not a money man, no, but I live amongst the money men.
You do. So you're down there, and what we call folks out there listening to the Kevin Allen Show, get a little of my name on this because everyone's just talking about Flat Earth Dave tonight, for Christ's sakes. The Kevin Allen Show actually often calls the Gold Coast of Connecticut. Dave lives there. Dave's a Gold Coaster.
I was born into it. It wasn't my fault, man.
I love you, dude. I'm just joking with you. I got no hate for you. Do you know the mayor or the first selectman of Greenwich?
Oh, he runs when he sees me because myself and other people, we have a group called the Greenwich Patriots, and we're holding his feet to the fire on this thing that we're not allowed to talk about.
Freddie's my buddy. I love Freddie.
Freddie's your buddy. Well, Freddie is
good guy, right? He's a good guy.
No, he's horrible. He is forcing a program to give this to children in school when we have shown him the dangers of this thing. Okay,
so he's supporting it in the town. You're saying he's supporting it.
He ignores all of the science and just goes with the we got to do this, and it's because they took $1 million loans that require that they have clinics and things and shame muzzles and everything. He is totally sold out.
Do you know Freddie started as a garbage man in that town?
I know all about Freddie, and he's coasting to his retirement in 2 years. Okay.
all right. Hey, I didn't mean to poke a bear. Hey, Dave.
No, that's all right. Freddie's going to hell.
Oh wow, that's pretty aggressive from a peaceful man. That was definitely
ain't my
I didn't
choice.
mean to go there, bro.
Hey,
I
no,
didn't mean
it's all right. It's all right, dude. I'm good.
All right, let's take a second and breathe a second. I just want to, because this is about you, Flat Earth Dave, and I'm feeling even more honored, guys, because we have people in Texas, all over the country, watching this right now, and I'm in the home state, the nutmeg state has a couple nuts, which I'm saying myself included. Dave, do not get mad at me.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Do you know that I live in Connecticut, or do you believe I live in Connecticut?
Well, you just said it.
I'm asking you a question. Do you know it?
I don't know that.
Or do you believe it?
I believe it.
All right, and I believe you live in Connecticut. I have a little more knowledge than you do about me living in Connecticut because I saw your website and I think it said something about Connecticut. But that doesn't mean you live in Connecticut. You could have just written that. The point is to figure out that you believe me. I seem like an honest guy, and guess what? Yeah. I do live in Connecticut. You're right, but You don't know it until you take the time and do the work.
You're talking about the deception
I'm
that
talking
has been
about
planned.
people say, oh, I don't believe in flat Earth. I believe we live in a globe, but they can't come up with one reason why, right? And they go, well, boats over the horizon, right? Well, I could show you that boats over the horizon is nonsense, right? If they say seasons, day and night, sunset, I could show you that that's nonsense. But you have to use your brain, do the effort, time, and think about it.
You know, it's amazing. You have a way, and I'm going to say this as a complimentary comment, of bringing it back to the flat Earth. And almost every unique situation, it's almost as if you could tell me why do we have albinos? Well, Kevin, because the flat Earth has caused this certain. It seems like there's a solution to all that. Is that correct?
You know what? Everything relates to the flat Earth. All of this stuff goes back to the foundation of where you are. They literally have us spinning out of control, lost in space and powerless. They don't want us knowing who we are. They don't want us knowing the power that we have.
I'm gonna go out on the edge here a little bit, Dave, and venture to say that you don't believe that the organized government actually runs America. I'm gonna just assume, and I'm gonna ask you to maybe clarify whether or not you believe that.
What do you mean, the organized government?
Well, we have senators, state representatives. In your state, you also have governors. Then you go out to the federal level. Is this all part of the corruption? Are these people in on what's going on? Because there's a lot of government approval in all these layers. How's it happen without that?
No, it's amazing that, when you go down to a town level like this, I think people like Freddie and, other low level government people, he's the head of the town, but low level, they're just following orders. They're just doing what they're told to do. Hey, the Greenwich School's got $10 million or whatever, but they have to have face masks and they have to have, clinics for this and they have to do this, they have to do that. And so they took this money, right? So people are on the take. Money. People will do anything for money. So what's his motivation? I don't know. There's a lot of mind control out there. You show, these normies, I call them, that are like, yes, get me my fourth booster, my fifth booster, yes, right? But then you show them that people are dropping dead moments after, that athletes are dropping, hundreds of them, tens of thousands of people are dying. They don't see it. They can't hear it because they're under some sort of mind control. They've lost control of their mind. And that's because they've disconnected from their true self. Your soul, for lack of a better word, is your true self. It's screaming at you what the truth is, but your conscious, your brain, which is being controlled by the government and all this other nonsense, can't hear it. And the more you can't hear it, the more fucked up your life is, right? And the more, people that are depressed, like, the analogy I use is Neo in the Matrix. At the beginning, he's depressed. Something's wrong with the world. He can't figure it out, right? Something's wrong. And then look at Neo at the end of the movie. He unplugged from the heliocentric matrix. He knows who he is. The condition of the world doesn't matter. He took his power back, okay? Put those two next to each other. You got one depressed, weak, lost soul, and another one who's literally almost like Superman, okay? That's what understanding where you live does, puts you. And, we're here to love one another and to experience this realm. And that's been stolen from us. We've been put in a pond and told we live on a ball, right? When in reality, there may be more land, right? More land beyond Antarctica.
Do you think that spiritually, you talk a lot about your spirit, Dave? Is there a spiritual being? Do you believe in the history of God, Jesus, the traditional Roman Catholic version of it?
I don't believe in I'm not religious in any way. I believe that there is a creator. Can I describe who that creator is, where the creator came from? No, I can't. But there is a creator, and we live here within his creation, whatever you want to, whatever it is, whatever the creator is. And your personal relationship with the creator is your personal relationship, and nobody has any right to tell you that you don't do it this way, you're going to hell. That's your relationship. I don't believe that you have to follow this rule book. There's really one law, that is, don't hurt anybody. Don't hurt anybody else.
That's fair, and we can still disagree, right? We don't have to agree on the flat Earth or the round Earth, but we can still not hurt each other.
Right, absolutely. but here's the thing. You gotta, this is what gets people. After hearing something like this, and they come in thinking that it's crazy at the beginning, now they're like, "Oh, I still believe in the globe." Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you can't claim my 3 Bitcoins. Right? One globe proof, one, and you get 3 Bitcoins. Right? That's like 70 grand right now. All right, one, and why? And when you can't come up with one, ask yourself why. All right. Here's the thing.
Ask yourself why. And you know what's one interesting is what does it matter if it's flat or not?
It's not the shape that matters. It's where you are, who you are, what you are, right? You got the creator, man, government. Government has climbed on top of man, is squashing us, and government is trying to get on top of the creator. They're trying to become the gods of this world, and they're not, okay? But we have the ability to stop all of this. And people are like, well, I'm just one guy. I still got to go to work. Well, what if all the technology, the real technology was out there? What if you had something the size of a roll of quarters that will heat your house for the next 100 years and another roll of quarters that will power your house and your car for the next 100 years? Well, that would take a lot of strain off of you. Maybe you could just go garden after that, okay? You could just be a gardener and have a great life and feed your neighborhood and cook, have a whole different view of the world. But they're hiding these technologies. They're making us work in their slave jobs. Then they take 40% of our money. And then at the end of the year, they give us 3% back. We go, oh, thank you for giving me that wonderful gift. No, they stole your money. And the money, what is money? Money is made up out of thin air. They don't need money. They use it to control us. We're playing with their monopoly money. We have to stop doing that. And we're playing on their ball, and we're lost in space. You got to get your heads out of your asses.
Dave, let me ask you though: is it a fair conspiracy? A lot of people want to say conspiracy theories when they talk like this, but we've heard Bob Lazar and all these comments about technology. Do you believe that technology has been got by our government? Do you think it's controlled by our government? Do you think these people that control all these things are ones that possess that, and that's why we are the ones that are like subjects?
I believe that people like Bob Lazar, I think his story makes sense. So think about this: Bob Lazar got to work on a aircraft that a flying saucer that crashed here. Well, if the flying saucer came from the closest star, the closest planet, a planet going around the closest star, which is magnitudes closer than any other star, it has to travel 25 trillion miles. Okay, you know how long 1 trillion seconds is?
No, help me.
Take a guess. If you guess it within a week, I'll give you a Bitcoin. Go ahead. 1 trillion seconds, just to show you how big a trillion is. How long is a trillion seconds? Come on.
Listen, you got me right here. I'm trying to figure it out right here.
You want to take a stab in the dark?
I'm going to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to say it's going to be 25 years.
Very close. 31,000 years, okay? So 1 trillion seconds is 31,000 years. If you're going a mile a second for 31,000 years, you're only 1/25th of the way to the closest star. If you're going 100,000 miles an hour, which is unfathomable, it'll take you 28,000 years to get there. Okay,
you don't think there's any technology that can speed you through that process?
You're just taking a leap of faith because space is impossible, scientifically impossible. So you're just making up shit, folding space and wormholes. When in reality, we live here on this flat circle pond. Antarctica is the land, the ice that surrounds us. And then beyond Antarctica, what if there's more land, extra territory, extra terra? If somebody came to visit
How come we can't see it? How come we can't see it?
You can't see 100 miles, let alone 10,000 miles, okay? Right? And no one's allowed to go explore the outer lands of Antarctica. But if somebody came to visit us from out here, they'd be called an extraterrestrial, extra terra, extra land from the outer space. Well,
what would they look like?
That I believe they could probably humans. There's humans everywhere. There's a book. If you go on my app on the web, on the book page, the Iron Republic, you can. And there's also the Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Wall, which is a great book, short, thin book. Right? You'll learn what is scientifically possible and what's going on here. I mean, maybe the world looks like more like this, right? It's over. Boom. Maybe it's like that. And then if you want to take it to one step further, what about this? What if we lived here in this pond right here. And
It
out
looks like a
here,
bunch of corrections or police badges to me.
well, but if you zoom in, these are other worlds. Okay, these are other worlds. Like, one of them. This is where this could be a whole. There's 178 different worlds out here, right? But they have us trapped in this little pond right here. Now,
So how far
listen,
is it to the nearest world?
50,000 miles.
How far to the next nearest?
I don't know. Could be 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles. Who knows?
Where is the furthest we could? Where is the furthest we could humanly go?
No. Hold on. I'm not saying any of this is real. I'm saying it's scientifically possible, right? And they don't allow us to go to Antarctica. We want the right to go explore. Well, how do you go? Well, you can't fly an airplane there because you run out of fuel. What about an airship, right? Well, they demonized hydrogen with the Hindenburg, that psyop, and then NASA owns all of the helium companies in the world, and they consume most of the helium.
Do planes fly into the area you're talking about? Do planes fly near that area?
I have a theory that the MH17 or MH380, whatever the flight was, that those Malaysian flights that disappeared, I think that those might have been people making a run for it, trying to go out to the outer lands. Listen, if you're a book reader,
you don't think any of those people died in a crash?
I don't know. No. I don't know, man. There are things as real plane crashes, but there are fake plane crashes all of the time, right?
Really?
In my app.
Which give me one. Give me one, Dave.
I forget the name of it. It was I don't know, the Malaysian flight. I forget what, I did tons of research on it. It's on stoplookthink.com. But Sully's plane never landed on the Hudson River.
You remember the flight out of, maybe you'll remember because it being down the Greenwich area, the one that was coming out of New York right after 9/11 and got shot
flight
down.
380. It got shot down. My friend's fiance was on that flight. That was real because I was in Bridgeport windsurfing, and we were hanging out after we were done, and all of a sudden I had my back to it, and someone's like, what the hell was that? And then all of a sudden we saw fire in the sky and stuff falling out of the sky. I saw that with my own eyes. Now, did I see a missile go up? My friend said they saw something go up, but I didn't. Okay? So it's hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
But that
But if you hadn't seen that with your own eyes, let me ask a question, Dave. If you hadn't seen it with your own eyes, would you have believed the conspiracy on that?
Well, there's so many conspiracies on it that,
but I'm asking a question about you. You saw it, so you don't feel that way. But you also talk about other things that you believe are different. Why couldn't you concede to that with this?
Well, because I'll tell you why. If you looked at the investigation, they actually took all of the parts of that airplane, put it in a hangar, and reconstructed the whole thing. None of that happens with all of these fake stuff. They don't do anything. The Georgia Guidestones, were supposedly blown up by somebody. One of the pillars was blown up. And then within hours, they bulldozed the whole thing. Wait a minute. That's a crime scene. There was
But no one's ever been arrested or found culpable in this crime, right? This is a crime that's unsolved.
Which one?
With the one with you, you said you knew somebody that
Flight 800, TWA Flight 800. That's because I think it was our military that did it. I think it was our military that shot it down. But again, I don't have proof of that. There is tons of proof that it was hit by a missile. What was the reason? Who did the missile? Were they training? Was it an accident? I don't know. I can make up theories, but I don't know.
It's interesting, and I think we could probably go down keep going down and down and down. But let me ask you about when you started doing this. Did you ever envision the growth of where you are now and the attraction? You showed the app. I mean, that's people listening to you, Flat Earth Dave. Did you ever envision this?
I must have, because it's happening. But, I'm not in it for the fame. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for freeing humanity, okay? If I'm the guy that frees humanity, which I don't think is the case, so be it. I don't care. I don't want any of that. I want to live my life free. I don't want to follow their bullshit. I don't want to play in their game. I'm done with their monopoly money. I'm done with their stupid ball. I'm done with their, we're running out of oil. Well, we don't need oil. There's free energy everywhere. I want to be able to freely travel this realm. I want to go to the outer lands. I want to go to the inner lands. Who knows, right? But no one has a right to stop me. Governments say, well, we're going to give you your rights back. No, they're not. They don't. God gave us our rights. We have God-given rights, and governments have hijacked them. Hey, we got to wrap it up. So any final questions?
No, my final question is, Flat Earth Dave, first of all, thank you. all due respect to your platform. I love what you're doing, and I would hope that someday down the road we could have you back on again and maybe catch up on some different topics. I hope it wasn't too offensive to you. It was not my
No, no,
purpose. I
not at
wanted to
all.
ask you tough questions.
Not at all. But I'm asking you a tough question. Just one. What's your
Yeah.
proof that you live on a globe? Give me one reason you live on a globe, other than somebody told me or NASA showed me a picture.
I am going with what I have been trained to think during my upbringing of indoctrination, and so I can't debate whether or not you're right, nor am I. But I will say this: it more aligns with how the moon and the sun and everything moves. It aligns with that because a flat Earth wouldn't probably have that distance between everything. So I'm
So,
thinking, yeah,
so
I go with
here,
the round
here's
Earth.
here's the sun, right? The sun goes
Yep.
around once every 24
Yep.
hours. Wherever the sun is, it's noon. The sun catches up to the moon and laps it every 28 days. Okay?
Mhm.
This perfectly explains how the sun keeps track of the hours, the moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. And if I turn on the stars will lap the sun once a year. So the sun will slowly move out of each tropic into the following one and it'll march its way around. That's how the
But
tropics
aren't
work.
you? You're not counting for elevations on the actual topography, right? So you're not
Well,
looking at those elevations that are causing rifts in that distance because you talk about the light, the ray, the beam that has to change off of your topography, right? Off your land mass.
I have no idea what you're talking about. There's nothing to
Well,
do with what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
have any idea what you're talking about, Dave. So that's
Yeah.
a it's a fair question. No,
All right.
I'm asking. How would that affect it if you're looking at it flat? Light doesn't like you were talking about the light earlier when you light
Yeah.
up a
What
flashlight.
if there was mountains surrounding me, the sun would disappear behind those mountains much earlier than if there was no mountains. Then I'd see the
Right.
sun much longer because as the sun goes away, it goes behind the mountains, just like that, right? If those mountains were lower, oh look, you can still see the sun. So once you understand how this works in the app, the frequently asked questions, hit that. Where does the sun go? There's so many resources in there. What about photos of the Earth? What about gravity? Coriolis, eclipses, great one. Why the lie? Great videos there. All sorts of stuff. There's even more down here. Moon phases. What about moon phases? Meteors and asteroids, right? Once you start seeing those, then you go, oh, that's how it works. Then you go out, do your own experiments, make your own videos, and find out. But all the work has been done for you. This makes you lazy. It's all been done for you. And you could watch it, use your God given common sense, stop believing the nonsense, stop making up excuses to hold on to your little precious ball, and plant yourself on the flat, stationary Earth. Peace. FlatEarthDave.com. Everything is there. If you got a show, you want to book me there. The app is there. Watch face downloads, right? Not showing my watch face. You can. There's a free download there because they don't. You can't get it from the App Store. My YouTube is linked there. My interviews are linked there. You want more of this stuff? The crash course is there, and of course my Flat Earth podcast. If you like to listen to audio podcasts.
I'm going to send you an email for a publicist. You definitely need one. Flat Earth Dave, thank you so much. You're rocking and rolling, dude. You're on fire. I'm going to buy the Flat Earth stock. That's what I'm going to invest. Well, Bitcoin, right? I can get Bitcoin.
You can get 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proofs. Just start there.
All right. Thank you,
Start
Dave.
there.
I'll talk to you later, brother. Thank you so much. Hey, man, enjoyable interview. Clearly a really deep thinking individual. Look, Flat Earth Dave is Flat Earth Dave, and everyone should have the ability to speak their mind, to be honest about who they are, and talk about their beliefs and defend them as he does. And I think that's the interesting part. Like, it doesn't matter what was said, Dave was ready to come back, or what question I might have thrown at him, or coming from you guys watching this live. He handled it, and I thought that was pretty impressive. Now, I still think we're living in a round world, and I'm probably going to be hard pressed to stop thinking that way. But I'm open minded enough to at least learn. I know Timmy Riley, you were popping on here, and the Outer Banks. It seems a little too sci-fi to me. But then again, I did grow up in America, so